Guys, this is Chewy from the Variation Network. I thought I'd go ahead and share with you a little bit of what I do when I look at how my driving is. So this is a snapshot of everything I calculated in totals for January, February, March, April, and we're still in May. And I use an Excel spreadsheet, and I divide that by the, the drive date, the days within the month. So even though you might have 30 days in a month, you might only end up driving maybe 24, 26. Maybe there's some days you didn't work, right? The total amount of hours for the month, the total amount of miles for the month, the total amount of trips on the month, the gross on the month, my cash tips for the month, the tips on the app for the month, gas used, gas bought, then gas used, whether or not I use the toll, my net, which is the gross minus the gas, my hourly, and then I'm tracking tips. So I want to show you how January and February looks because I didn't start tracking my tips until about March, which is the amount of tips I get divided by the amount of rides. So obviously if you have two tips or two trips with tips divided by the total number, which is, let's say it's 8, then that's going to give you roughly 25%. So and a lot of times you guys will get drivers or riders that will just tip you 3-4 days later, and that kind of just changes my numbers or my algorithm. So what I track here is, for example, in January of this year, my gross was 55.43.74. The gas used on that was 475.96, and the net was 50.67. So the reason why they're in blue is it means that's a positive, meaning it was the highest, one of the highest for my monthly. And the gas that I used very little. So as I use little and get more money means that my cherry picking is getting more finesse. As you see on the hourly, I got hit on the hourly because I end up spending more hours on the road, which is 128.75 and 3/4 hours, and that's why my hourly dropped to about 33.59. Subsequently, if you see in February, I had the red was I drove too many miles, 33.10.05, with 201 trips for a total gross of 43.26.82. The cash tip on that, 592.56, was not bad. And for the app for cash is 503.69. My hourly, if you notice, was 36.59, which actually, if you look at all the columns, if you only have one column with the red and everything else is blue, then you're actually doing very well. Now March is the aggregate that's really everything, because I only worked 21 days. I was on holiday with my family for 7 days, and if you look, I only worked 111.75 hours with a mileage total of 2272.3. On that one, yes, the gross was low, but most importantly, look at the gas I spent to get to that money, which was 3702.95. Whoops, sorry. Let's get that screen back up. There you go. It's a little timeout. It's off of my monitor into my laptop. You're looking at 3702.95 on the gross. The gas on that was only 728.78 for the month, but what I used was only 466.02. The idea is, whatever you guys are spending on gas, what you use is important. Now the tip on that was 38%. So March was the factor where I started tracking my tips. I can't say for May because it's too early. And then April, if you notice, it had a total of 56.44.37 with cash tips of 469.77. The on the app side, it was low at 314.77, but we're looking at still 33% off, which it trailed a little bit at, but between March and April, I was still able to maintain a $34 average per hour. And that's really what you want to do in this business. What am I going to get hourly? How much time, how little time can I spend on the road with very little mileage, with as few jobs as possible, but as much money as possible, as little cash spent. Everything is as little to make a lot. And one of the few things that I do is I don't put in, I only fill up once a day. And so my aggregate is based on a tank. What can I do on a tank? That's the true aggregate. Why you want to refill and spend your day, I don't know. But if I can make this amount of money in anywhere between a 5 to 6 to $7 day, why am I trying to refill my tank? I don't have a hybrid. I make it work the best I can. I don't take any breaks other than for lunch, because I live too far from where I work in the west side. So I just wanted to share this with you guys, and I hope that helps you out. I don't know how you guys track your business, but if you do any tracking, you might want to start doing it this way or something similar that works for you. This tells me where I'm at. Percentage on the tips is important, because maybe that day it was rainy. Maybe you had really good contact and conversation with your riders, and I find that I might have the best engagement with my riders, either in conversation or getting them where they would go, reading the room, all that. And at the end of the day, they may still not tip you. And that might be a generational thing. It might just be at the time they didn't think anything of it. And for all you Gen Zs and millennials, don't take it personal. But you guys don't tip very well. I find the older people and the middle-aged people, they tip fine. But Gen Zs and millennials, no. They just don't do it. It's almost like they're entitled. But, I'm waiting for one of you Gen Zs or millennials to actually debunk this and correct me on that. But until next time, hope you have a great one. Have a great and safe Memorial weekend, and you guys be safe, make a lot of money. Bye.